Hey, what is up guys? This is Mio, and we are here with week 2 of the NPL Minors versus David, aka Magic, and the FC Popplio. So we are coming out of a 0-1 week versus Ace of Base and the Anaheim Alterias, -3 differential. So not the best start, but also not that bad of a start comparatively to some, I think. Some were pretty bad, but I'll take mine. It was a really close game. So I'm hoping for a lot better this week. Of course, I already know how things turned out because this is way after. It's in fact like not too far before it comes out, I think. But whatever. I'm gonna stop rambling and not make a fool of myself anymore than I have to. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put on David's team and get into my own. So I'm gonna start off with the Zygarde, and Zygarde has 1,000 arrows, coil, and Dragon Dance both, and it has rest with a Testo Berry. So this could potentially sweep depending on if he brings Shaman or how he plays the Shaman. Because Coil and Dragon Dance, they can take a lot of the physical hits. They can take an Ice Punch from Mega Gallade, Dragon Dance that rested off or something. 1,000 arrows, I don't know. I can play it fine. Might not be the most ideal set to run, but I think it definitely has potential to work if I play it right. The speed I have on it is to be able to outspeed a speed creep for Tapu Koko. Yeah, that's what it is. It's really weird to do that, but if he wants to scarf something for Koko and not for Mega Arrow for some reason, then that's what that is for. So that's all I have for the Zygarde. Let's just move on to the Tapu Koko. So Tapu Koko has Evolt with Nature's Madness, U-Turn, Dazzling Gleam, and T-Bolt. So those two moves are really the only things I need for that to work. Like U-turn is for so I can get out on the ground type he has. Garchomp, that's it, yes. Nature's Madness is to whittle down to the next Shaman that wants to come in. Alola Marowak. Oh yeah, U-turn also gets out on Alola Whack too. And Hoopa. Dazzling Gleam is for anything that Thunderbolt doesn't hit, like Mega Gallade and Garchomp, and I'm very smart at this commentary, trust me, I know what I'm doing. So T-Bolt can just shit on him quite a bit, because Alola Whack, I just get out and go into probably Seismitoad. So I think the Koko set can definitely work pretty nicely if I play it right. So, and then I have Torn with Skyplate, enough speed for the Garchomp of course, into special attack for the strong Hurricanes, and 152 in the HP to dump set. Hurricane, knock off U-turn taunt is so he can't. It's like he can't Seeds with Shaman, or he can't Rocks with. I guess he can't Wisp with Rotom if he wants to. He can't Rocks with Alola Whack. He can't set up with Venomoth, or he can't Sleep Under either. So U-turn is of course to get out of there, and knock off is, you know what, I don't like his items anyway. Like, I want to get rid of items in general, if I can. So that's what that's for. Yeah. Yes, I'm good at this, trust me. So, that's all I think, once again, I really like Torn in general. I think Torn is a very reliable Pokemon. It has a really good move pool. It uses its move pool very well. It takes advantage of a lot of items very well. It has good defenses, and I think it'll just pull through in this match pretty nicely, just looking at the matchup and the rest of the team. So getting into some weirder stuff, I guess. The Ferrothorn's a bit weird, and it's also like, I've kind of noticed that I've brought Ferrothorn, Seismitoad to both of these games now. Like, it's kind of my primary defensive core, even though I brought offensive Seismitoad last week. But let's just stop rambling once again. So, red card on Ferrothorn. So, it can come out on the Hoopa's Hyperspace Fury, get it to take Iron Barb's damage, force it out, basically lure it out, and either set Seeds, set free spikes, knock something off, or Gyro Ball does a lot to Hoopa and does a lot to Mega Gallade if it's not bulky, which it could be Trick Room. And so that is what Ferrothorn's going to do, especially defensive for take on Rotom Wash pretty nicely. It takes on Shaman decently. And most of all, it's really just Venomoth, because I'm very, very afraid of Venomoth. and I lose. This team kind of can lose to Venomoth if I'm not careful. So this is a good anti-measure to that. And red cards also for that. If it wants to hit me with like a bug buzz or something, just gets out of there. So that's my Venomoth countermeasure. That can potentially be Hoopa countermeasure. It might not even work. I don't know. As you can see, Showdown really wants me to run the Fizz Def, but I'm going with S Def because of Venomoth. But Seismitoad is our Fizz Def mon. So it's got Icy Wind and Toxic. Icy Wind can help with Garchomp. Toxic can Toxic. Yeah, Toxic and Toxic. Earth Power is to hit Kabutops. It can hit. You know, you can see what it can get, right? Klefki. And Stealth Rock is, of course, Stealth Rock. I really want to get Stealth Rocks up in this game if possible. Make a low the whack, take that 25%. Crobat, Rotom taking chip damage, Venomoth, anything taking chip damage is pretty key here, I think. So it's a normal Seismitoad set, and it can take on Garchomp. It can set up rocks on Garchomp, and Icy Wind and Toxic it, whatever it wants to do. So it can deal with Garchomp pretty nicely. And the last mon on the team is one of my favorite mons on the team. It's Mega Aerodactyl. So, it's 3 attacks, Toxic. Toxic is kind of just thrown on there because I don't really need a 4th move. It could have been like Tailwind or Taunt or Stealth Rock take off that, but I didn't need that. So, Aerial Ace can hit Gallade and Shaman, and you see what it can hit. Ice Fangs just for Garchomp basically. And Stone Edge hits just about the rest, really. So I didn't really need a 4th move, and I wanted Toxic potentially. I wanted to potentially Toxic, namely the Shaman if it came in, mainly also Rotom. Toxicing Rotom as it comes in is really nice. That's why I had it. That's right. I'm smart. So yeah, that's the team. I'm making this really awkward once again. But let's just get into the match, why don't we? So I hope this can work well. I have both my birds, both of them could potentially do well because they deal with Shaman that Zygarde can't deal with, and they can deal with Zygarde and Seismitoad can deal with the Rotom that the birds can't, and it's really nice. I really like how this team meshes together to potentially beat out his individual threats. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the game now. Alright, so right here, the first thing I noticed is that he brought Audino, and I did not even care about Audino in building, and that's really weird to me. I don't know what it's going to do, so it's honestly kind of scary, because I don't carry any fighting coverage on this team for it. Oh, but I can just beat it down. It'll be a bit annoying. So he brought the Shaman, he didn't bring Crobat. Shaman's there, Marowak's there, Galade's there, Rotom and Garchomp. It's about what I expected, basically. No Hoop is actually really nice. I guess I did have a lot of hate for it. Mega Arrow can outspeed even the Scarf set, so I guess that's why. So yeah, I think I can pressure it down with birds. Birds are going to be really nice here, and also Zygarde and Seismitoad plus the birds, yeah, basically. And maybe a Coco cleanup if I can pressure him right, because Coco also functions really nicely here. Just being able to hit things as hard as it can. So, I honestly don't remember what I led with. Wait, no, I led with Seismitoad, and he leads with Garchomp, I believe. No, I lead with Torn, and he leads with Garchomp. So I taunt his rocks. That's right. Oh no, I don't. I taunt his rocks, but he goes for different rocks. But it's basically like I taunted his Stealth Rocks, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, he meets the Stone Edge, but yeah, and this missing the Stone Edge may have mattered in that long run, but I definitely could have eaten that, so it's not the biggest deal. I wouldn't have died from that, but it's really sucky for him that he missed that. So I U-turn out, and right into Seismitoad, as he misses another Stone Edge. That one might have mattered too, because it might have changed the range later on in the match, but that's definitely a lot less impactful than the first one, because it's a resist, and Seismitoad is Fizz Def. So Seismitoad is in, it can Rocks here. And Gallade comes out, I get Rocks up. I believe I get a Toxic off on it now. So Mega Gallade is now Toxic. And the best thing about that, and it's on a timer, it'll take a lot of damage. It'll take more damage from coming in. It has a lot more trouble, unless it's like a Drain Punch set, which I don't know that it is. It probably would have used regular, but it goes right out, and he's into Shaman here. So I'm into Ferrothorn, and I believe this has to get another spike. Does we get a spike? No, no. As he goes into this, I go in Torn. So that was I guess that was kind of the most obvious play. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he expected me to stay in. But no matter what, I think this looks like a good situation to me at the very least. So it's at 82, and I have this guy plays Hurricane. As long as I can connect it, this would die. But unless it switches out, so it can force him out. So it does force him out. So I just go for the U-turn, knowing I would force him out. And now, basically, his chomp's at 67, and I have Seismitoad at 82. It'd be at 88 when it comes in, and I have a full health Torn here. The Seismitoad can come in and Icy Wind this thing to death if it wants to. It says I think it's an S by the way it took that, but it's a outspeed, so it actually might just be offensive. So that's down because I had Earth Power there, so I wouldn't miss my Icy Wind. That we all know I'd miss, even though I probably wouldn't have. Because who knows? But I hit it. So I head out into this, and he tricks me of Choice Specs, and that's not good. That's not good for me at all. Because now it's like the Zygarde set's fucked. Because I don't have any way to get rid of that. So Zygarde is completely useless here, more or less, because it can't do its setup shenanigans. So I get Whisked on Torn now, and I'm kind of just in a position where I'm choking. I need to get my momentum back into this game real fast. This is not going well. So I even out, get this thing hurt more. And as far as I can tell, yeah, so because this has a Tester Berry now, it is not leftovers, that's right. So it Will-O-Wisp me here, and I just get some damage off 1,000 arrows. So at the very least, it's in range now. When it comes back in, it will be at 5. So that is enough damage for anything to just kill it outright. So that is a huge relief for the fact that I can get this much damage on it. So Coco's out, and I went to Coco, and I feel dumb for going into Coco, because I take that much from a Hydro Pump, and I just kill. Like, I still kill it with a D-Gleam, but that's a lot of damage Coco did not want to take, and that was pretty dumb of me. So, well, at least that's down. I need to just Madness this. Not really thinking, but so it red cards me out now. So red cards me out, so I don't know what it's gonna do at this point. But at the very least, this is at half, and I guess I have a strong threat in right now. And so he reveals that he has Trick Room on his and Healing Wishes, and Mega Arrow gets that kill. I don't get a Toxic, but that was my game plan, just Toxic it if we don't do any shitty shenanigans. So now he has a Trick Room up with a Marowak and a Shaman that might not be good in it, but he has the Marowak, and that's scary. He also has a Gallade, which is presumably slow, and no longer toxic. So Ferrothorn takes the close combat, and it doesn't get the red card out, but it, like, see, if I was Fizdef here, it would have taken that close combat, Gallade would be out of there, and we would still have we would have a living Ferrothorn at least. Something else would have to take damage. So that sucks, but now I can Earth Power because I am still slower than the Mega Gallade. It cannot outslow the Mint Speed Seismitoad that I have. So he goes for the close combat, and because of the Stone Edge miss, actually, he does not kill me right there, which is honestly kind of huge for me. Now he has to switch out though. I go for the Icy Wind because the chicken would have won out that turn, and obviously I had to do that to outpace maybe a max speed Shaman or outspeed. I expected to switch out anyway there. And I go down to that, so that's HP Ice, so that's Zygarde hates. So I know that is now Scarf. By the way, I think that is now Scarf, I believe. Well, that's my belief, that is Scarf Shaman. So Marowak just drops to Mega Arrow here, and obviously Shaman comes back in, and I know it's Scarf, so I just stack off Zygarde here. Poor Zygarde, I've been bullying it this recently. It kind of just dropped pretty badly to Ace last week. It got bullied and burned and shit this week by David. I feel bad for you, buddy. I love you, but it's what's gotta be. So the good part about this is now this is in, and if as long as I can hit my moves, I'll be fine. But can I hit the moves? That's the question. So I miss my Hurricane as he gets a defense, as he gets an SDF drop. So no longer can I say in to take another one because I'm also burned. So I have to sack off Mega Arrow. When in hindsight, I very easily could have sacked off Coco. That would have been better because then I would have been able to come back on a Torn as I'm about to do. And as long as I hit this Hurricane, I see that's a crit and that's half drop, but I hit the Hurricane still, so everything's still fine. Everything is still fine. But I would have had, I guess it doesn't really matter in the end, but I wanted Arrow to get with it, I guess. But same outcome as either way. Because I hit that, now the final question is, does this have Shadow Sneak? If it has Shadow Sneak, I lose right there because I cannot live that whatsoever. But if it doesn't, I win. So I'm not gonna keep you waiting. This Gallade does not have Shadow Sneak, and we win 1-0 victory over David Magick, coach of the FC Popplio. That was a pretty hype game in my opinion. Bunch of misplays on my side, I think, but I think in the end we still kind of overpowered him with how I did it. If I had any regrets, it's S-Def Ferrothorn over Mixed Def or Fizz Def or anything like that. That would have been able to pressure Mega Gallade way harder, and the end game would not have turned out like that. But at the same time, honestly, I think we lost 2 diff there, I think, because of the Hurricane miss. So I think it was a bit unfortunate, but it's the game. But at the same time, I think with the Torn, if I used knockoff on the Shaman and then Hurricane, it would have turned a lot better because they still could have won with Mega Arrow. So next week we have the Anarchy coach of Rose Raidenborg, and that's a pretty high matchup too. He's a really good player, and I am excited to play him. My schedule's looking pretty tough so far, but if I can come out against David Magick, then I feel I can come out against anything. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So my name is Mio, and I will see you next week. Peace.